Mayor Eric Adams is giving out prepaid cash cards to migrants. Mayor Adams didn't publicize the story himself, and his administration for nearly a month has failed to correct several public misconceptions about it. One misconception is that the program allows the city to give out just $50 million to migrants. It will give migrants up to $10,000 each in taxpayer money with no ID check, no restrictions, and no fraud controls. The Post exposed the mayor's debit card program earlier this month. The mayor's office spun it as a money saving program to, quote, solve a problem. Migrants staying in hotels don't eat all of their food. Go, the city's no-bid emergency contractor to provide migrants with 3 meals a day, throw away up to 5,000 meals daily, wasting taxpayers $7.2 million a year. As the contract with MoCaFi clearly notes, quote, cardholders will not be subject to ID verification and the city shall be responsible for the accurate delivery of the cards to consumers. And after delivery of said cards to the city shall be responsible for the security of the cards until delivered to the cardholders. Under the contract, upon request by the city, MoCaFi will simply dump off hundreds or more of blank debit cards with no one's name on them, with unknown amounts of money to be loaded on them as well, up to $10,000 per card at any time by the city. The city may even issue debit cards to children. Quote, if the cards are to be distributed to any person under the age of 18, the city shall confirm that the minor's cardholder's parents or guardians has consented to the minor's acceptance and use of said card. So the city employees and shelter contract workers are going to be in charge of handing out the cards to be loaded and regularly refilled with untraceable cash to people who have no forms of identification acceptable to the American financial service system under a program with no eligibility or verification policy. There are no SNAP cards. They are MasterCards. Quote, cardholders can pay for any goods/services at any business merchant that accepts MasterCard. The contract reads, restrictions are optional. So let me get this straight, right? So Mayor Eric Adams decided that it would be a good idea to allow people who have never been in this country to hold on to 10 grand to do whatever it is that they specifically want to do with that money. But yet we have homeless people here, of which you don't see New York City trying to enable or empower those said people. And it's crazy because a lot of those people who are homeless, who live out on the streets, who live in shelters, they've been here for decades. But yet the city is not trying to hand them thousands of dollars. The main thing that, the public and the government tells them to do, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, go out there, get a job, work like everybody else. We're not going to feed, we're not going to clothe, and we're barely going to even shelter you. It is up to you as a grown adult to make sure that you get the things that you need. Be like everybody else and, do the work that every other American is doing. But mind you, people who are just coming over, never contributed to anything, are freely getting money, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody has a problem with this, but yet we want to always scold, browbeat, and we want to talk about the homeless as if they're nothing. When realistically, we should be the main ones using our tax dollars to empower, to lift them up, to get them out of the situation that they are in, because obviously they need help. And we should be the ones who are in good standing to help people who are in need, who are a part of this country. We should not be so eager to help out all these other people who are running away from whatever situation that they are facing. Like I said, everybody has a lot of things to face. Everybody has a lot of problems at home. But the main thing that America should be doing is helping out home first, helping out the American people first. Taxpayer provided food gets tossed in the trash every day at a massive Manhattan hotel being used to house migrants. because they rather secretly cook their own meals on dangerous hot plates. Disturbing photos shows garbage bags full of sandwiches and bagels awaiting disposal at the four-star Row NYC hotel near Times Square, where the city pays a daily rate as high as $500 per room. Quote, "It's a crime to be throwing out so much food." Other images show a hotel room littered with empty beer bottles and cans following a wild World Cup viewing party in November. That gathering in a room whose occupants, quote, "gave the key to a cousin while she was in the Bronx hanging out," erupted into a fight over the match that left one man with a big knot on his head. Rodriguez also stated that also shot a brief video clip of two female migrants engaging in hair-pulling fight outside of the hotel during a New Year's Eve festival last week. The 23-second phone clip recording shows men holding what appears to be beer cans while struggling to separate the women after they tumble off the sidewalk into the streets. An NYPD source who is also working in Times Square on New Year's Eve confirmed that the chaos at the hotel, stating that the lobby was littered with broken bottles, while some others were dancing, while others were sprawled out on the furniture and the floor. City Hall has refused to say how much it pays to rent out the Row or any of the scores of other hotels being used to house migrants, but Rodriguez stated that he's heard from management it's between $400 to $500 a night per room, depending on how big the room is. Rodriguez, age 57, stated that he began working at the 1,300-room hotel in 2017 and was shocked by what's happening since Mayor Eric Adams' administration began using it as a, quote, humanitarian response and relief center. Quote, "What changed in October was dramatic. There are some nice migrants in the hotels looking for that American dream, the second chance to make it in society. But there are a lot of migrants there that are causing chaos. We have a lot of fights, a lot of drugs, and sexual harassment that takes place." An NYPD source confirmed that cops have responded to a string of DV incidences at the hotel. Rodriguez also stated that NYPD officers were initially stationed in the lobby but were replaced by the National Guard soldiers in December. Rodriguez also stated that the hotel had a list of people that are supposed to be quarantined because of COVID or chickenpox or whatever it is. Quote, "Nobody supervises those people. Once they get bored, they flee. We don't know who's sick or who's not sick." Rodriguez also stated, "We are in an environment that is hostile, violent, and not safe anymore." So this is where we are. We're looking at Mayor Eric Adams deciding that he wants to give 10K. But yet we have homelessness. We have situations dealing with water. We have people having to pile up with other family members just to survive and be able to make rent at the end of the month in New York. There's a variety of things that are transpiring. But yet Mayor Adams decides that, hey, this is just a very great idea. And I think it is ultra American of us to be able to just hand out 10K. And I want to note that these are part of the exact same cogs that spin in government. And these are the same people who will sit up there and say that we don't got money for reparations, but yet they're giving away 10K. It wasn't that long ago that I showcased that Illinois was giving migrants, about 4 to 9K when it came to shelter, housing, and that was scot-free. So now you have this happening in New York. You have homeless people in New York that need help, that need shelter, that need jobs, that need training. All of that money could go to actually benefiting those homeless people so that it would pull up, New York, the population in general. You would get more tax dollars because you would have more people actually working versus needing shelter and being out there on the streets. But they decided that we're just going to skip the line directly on that. We're not going to help out our own. We're going to help out everybody else that is, just dogpiling to get over here. That's just running across just to get over here. That's crazy. How is it more American to help other people versus your own? And then the other craziest part is that you have immigrants here who are patiently waiting in line, and they've been waiting in line for months or years just for America to tell them, hey, we got you. This is your citizenship. You've proved and provided us enough information that lets us know that you are eligible, that you are welcome to become an American citizen, right? They're trying to do the American dream, but yet they have other people that are cutting in front of the line. So all of those months, all of those years of studying, of going through school to learn English and all the other things that they need to know in order to be certified to become an American citizen, you got other people just jumping on line, don't have to do none of that schooling. They don't have to do none of that hard work, none of that studying. They don't have to do anything to prove themselves. And so much so that Mayor Eric Adams is like, yo, you know what? We don't even need identification. We don't even need to know. You can be the invisible man for all we know and all we care. Here's your card. Huh? And not only just that, it's a MasterCard. It ain't like a Snap. Snap is programmed. That's what the government, they're going to divvy out a certain amount of funds. American people who are on Snap, some of which only get about $100 for groceries. $100, if anybody knows anything about grocery shopping in America, $100 is not going to sit up there and get you anywhere. You'll barely be able to buy or get the necessities that you need to make a salad, to make a nice home cooked meal for a Sunday's dinner with $100. Nah. Nope. But yet, migrants can sit up there and get a MasterCard, unnamed, full of thousands of dollars. But yet you have people in America that just need a little bit of help, a little bit of assistance, and they have to fight with the government in order to get just a little bit of extra money. They'll be like, oh, you want a little bit extra? No problem. We'll put an extra $5 bump on your Snap card per month. Huh? But yet you're giving migrants $10K? You know what you could do and buy with $10K? A lot. In certain places, you could sit up there and get a car for less than that. On top of the effect of being able to get housing, on top of being able to get clothes, on top of being able to, deal with your bills. In some instances, if somebody were to have, let's say, Section 8 and then this $10K, oh, they're set. That $10K, they can divvy that out throughout the time and have their stuff paid ahead of time, or just put that directly to the side, and then they got all this other money to play with. Like I said, it's crazy the types of games that America likes to play and how it is that they actually do their people. Like I said, if people don't understand how the government is not specifically for them, they need to sit up there and wake up and understand now. If you don't understand how it is that the government is trying to flip the economy and how they're trying to make other people and put them ahead of you, they're trying to empower those groups and those people over you, you better wake up now. If you don't understand the fact that the American government has been doing its best to get rid of the middle class so that it is basically rich and poor, I don't know what else it is to tell you. You're going to find out sooner rather than later.